Get Healthy Cincinnati from the Christ Hospital Health Network and these local partners.
I am Michael Kreines. I am a gastroenterologist in private practice with Ohio GI, and I'm the gastroenterology section chief at the Christ Hospital of Cincinnati. The question is, how important is a screening exam for colon cancer? Well, colon cancer is an extremely common form of cancer in our society. Approximately 1 in 8 people can develop colon cancer in their life. That's the statistic. It's very common. It's much more common than people realize. The thing about colon cancer, the exciting thing about colon cancer, is that it is most of the time preventable. It's one of the few cancers that we can get that you can prevent. How do we prevent it? Well, colon cancer starts as a polyp. A polyp is a little growth in the colon. Let me step back for a minute here. The colon and the large intestine are the same thing. So when in your digestive tract, you swallow, it goes to the esophagus, into the stomach, then into the small bowel, which is 20 feet long, and into the large bowel, which is also known as the colon, which is about 5 feet long, let's say. In the colon, you can develop polyps. So there'd be little growths. They can look like little moles or little warts or like mushroom shaped. And those polyps develop genetic mutations as they grow. And as they grow and develop additional mutations, they can grow into cancer. So when you feel fine, you could actually have polyps. You could actually even have an early stage of colon cancer. Polyps generally do not cause any symptoms. So the only way of knowing if you have them is to do an examination to find them and remove them. And that's the exciting part about it, is that if you do, I know colonoscopy doesn't sound so exciting, but in practice, if you do a colonoscopy and you find polyps and we remove them at that time during the colonoscopy, you've potentially prevented somebody from getting cancer. So the key to this is to do what's called a screening colonoscopy. So screening means you're doing an examination, you're not having any symptoms. So often people go to the doctor because they have a problem or a symptom they want to discuss, and the doctor may do some tests and figure this out. Here's a situation where we're actually going in to have an examination for no reason other than screening, like a woman having a mammogram or a pap smear or a man having a prostate exam, that type of thing. So you have a colonoscopy. A colonoscopy is performed by taking a laxative the day before to get the system cleaned out. Very important that we get a good look during the colonoscopy. Then you come in for the colonoscopy, we put a gown on, we put an IV in your arm, we sedate you so you're nice and comfortable, you're not awake during it, it's not embarrassing, it's not painful. Then we take a flexible fiber optic scope, look into the colon, and examine. During that time, if we find these polyps, we take a little wire, like a lasso, and we burn them off, remove them. You don't feel that, that's painless. And we've prevented cancer. So you want to do it when there's no symptoms. You want to do it when you're about 50 years old. So who gets colon cancer? Typically colon cancer starts at about age 50 or so. Occasionally people younger get it. It's very tragic when that happens, but generally it doesn't occur until your 50s or so. So it's been determined that we start screening colonoscopy at age 50, unless you have a family history, because part of colon cancer can be genetic. So if you have a mother or a sister that's had colon cancer, we call that a first-degree relative, you're going to come in sooner. You're going to come in probably when you're 40 and have a colonoscopy. And then periodically you'll have it every 5 or 10 years to make sure nothing has developed. So screening colonoscopy can absolutely save lives.
Brought to you by the Christ Hospital Health Network, 5WLWT, and The Inquirer.